Have you ever gone online? You're looking for a job, Indeed.com, SimplyHire.com, or these job sites, and you saw a job that you really, really wanted to do, but you know you weren't qualified to do it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Love is Absolute coming to you live from the tribe. Just want to bring up another topic. Your experience is your expertise. Your experience is your expertise. A lot of times in society, we're taught our expertise comes from our education, our expertise comes from how much knowledge we know, our expertise comes from who we know, our connections. But let me tell you, let me remind you, your expertise comes from your experience. What do I mean by experience? All the things that you've gone through in your life that has determined you to be where you are in your life. Basically, things that happened to you when you were younger, things that happened to you in the past, things that happened to you will happen to you in the future. This is all part of your experience. And part of your experience is something that you've been doing for a long time. And I want to bring it to your attention that your experience is your expertise. A lot of times we can feel intimidated, we can feel shame, guilt, embarrassment because we don't have the degree, or because we don't have someone else's opinion or someone else's approval or someone else's influence, or we need some outside influence to tell us how we are experienced or how we have expertise. And let me remind you, you are not here to adhere to this system's way of qualifying you. You are qualified by your experience. Let me say it again. You are qualified by your experience, meaning your experiences that you've gone through, every minute experience that you've gone through is your expertise. So your experience is your expertise, okay? And, in this today's society, everyone wants to know. Everyone's putting up their information on Facebook, uh, Twitter, Insta, all these social media sites. Everyone knows all this information about another person, and they, drill and ask questions. But the real question is, do you know your own expertise? Do you tap into your own expertise? Have you learned how to energize, weaponize, and monetize your expertise? We live in the day and age of energetic, weaponizing, monetizing experience. Okay, people want to know how to solve problems. How are they going to solve problems? By what? By your ability to communicate your success with your experiences. With success comes with failure. Not failure, but with the ability to identify challenges, problems, and difficulties that allow you to continue to move forward. So today I want to encourage you to understand the importance of how your experience is different from other people. How did you deal with things? How did you respond? How did you respond positively, negatively? That's a big thing. A lot of times we want someone to tell us how to respond in a very positive way. Be positive. Be positive. And you look at the country right now. Everyone's trying to, pretend like the problem's not there, but the problem's there. Let's be real. The problem is there. What's the problem? Oh, it's a race war. It's not about a race war. It's not about a class war. It's not about, difference of opinion. It's about valuing each other's experience. And other people think like, oh, well, just because he grew up rich or poor, this guy grew up, very rich versus this guy grew up very poor. His experience is different mine. Then, because his experience is different mine, that develops extreme dislike for the other person. Now, let me tell you something. Okay, you can do that, but that's not really going to solve problems. You could protest. Protest means you could just vocalize and verbalize what you don't like really, really, really bad. But our job and our mandate, and from my experience, our job is to learn how to have an experience, learn from the experience, and tell others. Again, have an experience, whatever event that happens to you, negatively or positive, learn from that experience and tell others. That's real education to me. Not your degree at Harvard, not your degree, degree or your qualifications. People like qualifications. Whatever, man. No one cares about that. Even though they sit there and say, oh, no, that looks good on fucking paper so you can get some more money. But your qualifications is within your experience, which allows you to be an expert in your field of expertise, which is your life. Okay. So again, we have things we want to accomplish, we have things we want to do, we want to have success in different areas. If you want to be a music producer, you go and study other people's ability to have success. You follow their pattern of success. Let me say this. This is going to sound controversial, but look, you need to find your own pattern of success, okay? You can use that as inspiration. You can use other people's their techniques, the behaviors, the mindsets for success for them to be where they are. You can use that as inspiration, but you need to find your own rhythm. You need to find your own pattern. And you need to find your own routine. Let me say again, you need to find your own rhythm. You need to find your own pattern. You need to find your own routine. You're supposed to use that information as inspiration, not supplication, meaning not a substitute for what you bring to the table. You need to look at what you're good at, what you're not good at. For example, I just started a new job. I work at a different place in a different industry. And this industry is very fast paced, it's very accurate, and it's very hands on and very, you have to be a fast learner. And it's funny because people would tell me all the time, they're like, oh, you're a fast learner. I didn't really understand what the hell that meant. Now I understand what they mean by being a fast learner. My ability to adapt to a new situation, to learn the situation, and to experience difficulty or challenge, and to grow through that and move forward through that. And I wanted to have success in this, and I continue to achieve success by how? By doing something that's new, by doing something that's different, by doing something that's challenging, but yet I know that is within my ability. Had I not gone into the different field I went into, I would have never known I was good at that. This is the beauty of your experience and you trying new things. Your ability to try new things and to go into a field, say like you've been cooking for 20 years. Okay, you need to share your experience with other people. Okay? To help other people who don't know how to cook, who don't want to know how to cook, we're living a very fast-paced, fast food society. Okay, fast food brain. the real Slim Shady, please stand up. So yeah, use your experience to energize, weaponize, and monetize for yourself and others that they can benefit. At the same time, don't let your experience, I continue to encourage you, never let your experience determine your ceiling or how far you can go, what areas you can go into. Like for me at my new job, like, man, I don't just do one thing all day. I do like 4 or 5 different positions in one shot. Most people say, oh, well, you're working too hard or you're working too much. See, that's how they perceive it. It's your perception, how you view it, how you perceive it. Like I said, how you see worth and value in what you're going through. You see worth and value in your experience, whether it's you like it or not, or it's wanted or not. It is wanted, but the question is, how do we order it? We order it by what? Energizing our thoughts, weaponizing our thoughts, and monetizing it. Okay. So, again, your experience is your expertise. I want you to remember that today. And remember what makes you different in your experience than everyone else. What makes you stand out? Everyone can't be you. Everyone can't think like you and say and talk like you. Your job is to be you at all times. This is Love is Absolute. Brothers, pound, sisters, behave.